Aries. This is your reading for this week of June 8th, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it will not be for everybody. My dear Aries, as I'm working with your cards and your energy, what I'm feeling is though there might be some fiery energy building up for you. And for me, immediately as soon as I hear that or say that, I hear boundaries. So what I'm feeling is that there may be some boundaries that are being crossed right now for you. And the boundaries might not be something that you have clearly defined as boundaries. They might be something that is, say, for example, just an expectation of common courtesy that's not being respected, something that you would naturally expect people to honor. So it might be that you have had a good relationship with someone and now all of a sudden they're behaving in ways that seem disrespectful or unreliable or aloof and unreachable. Could be any of that. And that is causing you to feel as though somebody is not respecting the intimacy of a boundary that you've had. Could be many different ways, but what I'm feeling here, my dears, is this. What I saw originally was I saw you with ledgers in front of you and you going through these ledgers, but they weren't your books. They were put here. You found them. They're there. Somehow you're being expected to look at these numbers and make sense of it. But I don't feel this is specifically, it could be financial, but I don't feel it is specifically that. What I feel the ledgers are, as I'm looking at the books, what I'm seeing is that there's a jumble of numbers. And for me, when I'm seeing a jumble of numbers, what does that mean? It's not really about number. Okay. It's not, in other words, it's not nice lined columns the way you would normally see in a ledger. The numbers are all jumbled up. Now, this is representing really communication, not necessarily finances or about finances. It's representing communication, emotional communication, connection around a situation that is now frustrating for you and you're having a difficult time making sense of it. It can be, for some of you, it might be creating this sense of agitation. What you're being asked to look at in this is, if you are feeling put upon by people, look out for where you might be experiencing a little bit of emotional manipulation that may or may not be conscious on the part of other people. That it might simply be the way they have learned how to cope and survive and manage things. And certainly if the communication that you would like to have is very deep or touches on a personal subject, they may contract as a response to that. So the suggestion here is not that you try to force a situation. The suggestion is that you be free to stand solidly within your own energy and not run after and try to chase and try to sort out other people's ledgers, make columns out of these confused numbers, sort out and figure out what their energy is. Now, you are also being given the service card, which is reminding you that we are all here to learn from each other and to grow, even if it is just, and to help each other. And to help each other doesn't necessarily mean actively setting out to do something. Maybe nobody's going to come and paint your house, or you're not going to go and paint somebody else's. But that relationship is how we serve, and learning how to be in relationship is how we serve. So for you, Aries, in spite of the fact that you are kind of like the go-getters and the first ones off the mark, and you can also be the ones that end up taking care of people. It's actually can happen quite a lot with fire signs, I've noticed, because they can do it. They have the energy to do it, or they feel like they have the energy to do it. But what you're being told here, my dears, is it may not be doing something for somebody or trying to make something happen for somebody may not be the best act of service you can do. Sometimes the best act of service you can do is you can say, what are these responses and reactions bringing up for me about how I was raised, what my relationships were like? How can I learn from this? In other words, what are the great qualities I can bring to this? What are the areas where maybe I could stand to deal a little bit more, a little bit better? Now you get the shame card that comes up, and the shame card for me, and you've got it right over the ideal childhood card. So for me, I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, sometimes what will happen is our ability to set boundaries comes from the fact that we are not really well anchored in our sense of worth, which makes sense then that you also get the I like card, because this card is saying pay attention to those skills and gifts that you had and own them and really appreciate them. And this, for me, is an antidote to that. Your childhood does not have to carry with you. It is whatever you've learned, whatever you think of it like this, whatever you've experienced in your childhood that has become problematic, you have grown resources now. You've had experience in life. Now you can look at this and you can say, okay, what characteristics would I like to have that I didn't, that I wasn't supported in having? What kind of emotional intelligence was I not trained in? How can I look at areas that might be creating situations that cause me to feel as though I have to be of service until it hurts, or I have to be of service even if the people I'm helping serve don't want me to do it? This is really a chance for you to look at yourself. Look at your child, look at your childhood, if there are any links there to you being the caretaker all the time, and see whether or not it's time for you to step away and say, here, these are your ledgers, these are your emotions. I may not be in agreement with them, but if that's the way you want to be, over there, be that over there. And then if you want to come back, let's talk. But we'll talk on my terms now. Okay? Again, this is not hard and fast. This is not what you should do. This is suggesting to you, if you've got something like this going on, this may be different. These are different ways to reframe it so that you can open your heart and feel what is right for you in that given moment, okay? Or in that given situation. I'm going to leave you with that, Aries. Much love. Take care.